Yo, welcome to the Fantasy Dads. This is Seamus Moose Anderson here with my good friend, longtime listener, second time on the show, Michelangelo Mick Federici. How you doing, Mick?
I'm doing good, Seamus. Thanks for having me again. Looking forward to really opening up some people's minds here with some of these bold takes, especially after last 2 weeks ago about the Green Bay game. That was pretty gnarly. Mercedes Lewis almost had the touchdown grab that we had talked about in the end zone. So I'm looking forward to getting involved here.
Yeah, he did. He did, and you do owe me a beer.
I
So we're
know,
gonna have
I
to
know,
talk
I
about
do.
that at a later date. But I'm sure I'll see you at men's league hockey someday.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure
Yeah, that was damn
that'll
close
definitely
too.
happen.
Listen, he almost had that catch. We are also on TikTok. TikTok, if you're with us, we do a live show on Facebook as well as YouTube. If you look up the Fantasy Dads, we'll be over there tonight and Sunday at 11 a.m. We already do have a question, and as we do this show, Mick, as you know, we try to get to the questions as quick as possible. So we'll start right
Oh
away.
yeah,
Vic's
let's
Doggy
do it.
Daycare. First off, love that, Vic. She said, how do you feel about Cooper Kupp with the Odell news? I'll start this out. Cooper Kupp's going to be just fine. I also think this will actually open up Robert Woods. The one person I'm particularly worried about on the Rams from here on out is Tyler Higbee. The rest of them, I'm fine with. I think it'll just open them up. We've seen this happen before. I don't know what the contract length is yet, but they're definitely going to have to invest at least 2 to 3 years. That was the report that came out that he was looking for a longer term deal, not just a rental. So I'm not too worried about Cooper Kupp, especially. I'm definitely not worried about Cooper Kupp. If you want to worry a little bit about Van Jefferson or Robert Woods, that's perfectly fine. But I think it does nothing but open them up and probably takes 1 to 2 targets away from Higbee a week. Mick, what are your thoughts on the Odell Beckham Jr.? Thank you for the question, by the way, Vix. I'm really glad we got this like right out of the way. We'll probably get a couple more questions about it. So
I think OBJ is an electrifying player. I think he slowed down a little bit over the past 3 years, but at the same time, I think he's going to open up the field for the Rams, even though they have plenty of receivers to catch a ball over there. You did touch up on Van Jefferson. I think he's going to slowly get minimized out of the offense. His role is definitely going to be decreased. So I like the signing. I actually think the Rams are going to go all the way to the NFC Championship, and I think Odell's going to help them out. I mean, they just got the Von Miller trade, an 8-time Pro Bowl, so they have some veteran leadership there. So
yeah,
I actually like this signing. Now the biggest problem is what type of OBJ are you going to get? Are you going to get an OBJ that wants to whine and cry about everything, or are you going to get an OBJ that wants to win, wants to and be an asset to
yeah,
a winning team? So that I like it. I like it.
yeah. It makes them one of the most prolific wide receiver cores we've ever seen. To be completely honest, you could say what you want about OBJ and his antics and everything else that's gone wrong with him over the few years he's been in Cleveland, but let's not forget that's been in Cleveland. Now, I do have an unpopular opinion that I do think Eli Manning made him good, but we can get into that at a different time. Vix also said I do have Higbee. I added Freiermuth. Is he a start over Higbee now?
Oh yeah,
I would say 100%. I think
yeah.
Freiermuth is a week in week out starter at this point. Even as bad as Big Ben has gotten, he's been a red zone monster. I probably wouldn't expect the 16 points every week or the 21 points in PPR that he got this past week. I wouldn't expect that every time. I think 1 touchdown is probably the limit for him. Moving forward, I think that's his floor. But yeah, no, I love Freiermuth, especially this weekend over Higbee, even though I think Higbee has a better a game script against San Francisco with this Odell news. I just don't know how to go about Higbee moving forward. We know that Pat Freiermuth is the guy, so I would start Freiermuth over Higbee.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Moose. Definitely. Actually, I have Freiermuth as one of the top streamer tight ends. If he's available in your league, I recommend getting him. Just to give you an example, I'm playing Frymouth this week over Hunter Henry, Tyler Higbee, David Njoku, and I think Jared Cook as well. So I'm high on Frymouth this week.
Sweet, yeah. I think it's the same for me. We did get Uncle Alex here in the chat on Facebook. If you guys are with us on Facebook, please hit that like button, smash that share button. Let the people know that we're live right now. Uncle Alex said, I'm kind of worried because pretty much every fantasy TikTok I see is telling me to trade away Harris, Kamara, and D-Hop. I'll let you go with that one first, Michelangelo. I think it has been a discussed topic between Kamara and D-Hop. Harris definitely has a tougher schedule moving forward, but I'll let you go with that first.
Yeah, I'm torn. I mean, I'm not necessarily a homer, but I just think Damian Harris has had a year, even though he's banged up a little bit. I think he's had a year where he's established. He's the number one. Last year we saw a little bit of that with Harris. Now, as far as Kamara is concerned, I think he's going to get a reduction as far as the amount of carries he gets. With that said, it also I think he's going to lose a lot of his goal line touches to Taysom Hill. I mean, we saw that now. This is like a repetitive thing when they get in the end zone. I'm pretty sure all of the Saints stadium knows that when they get on the 5, that Taysom Hill is going to lower his shoulder and deliver the boom to get in the end zone. So I don't like that, but I mean, it all depends on preference, especially this week with matchups and whatnot.
Yeah, so I agree. So for me, Kamara, I think he's a buy low candidate more than a sell high candidate, in my opinion, even though he's still a top 5 running back in PPR. People didn't trust him before the draft. People don't trust him after it, and people certainly don't trust him now. I think he's a buy low candidate. D-Hop, on the other hand, the hamstring is worrisome. But if I have a piece of D-Hop, which unfortunately I don't, I'm probably not moving him for nothing, right? Like, I'm not just moving him. As far as Damien Harris goes, Alex, you are from Western Mass, my friend. You are a Patriots fan through and through. Do not lose hope on us just yet. He is the guy there, regardless. I am a little bit worried about this concussion. I'm a little worried for Ramondre Stevenson. Love how everyone's talking about Mac Jones being probably one of the dirtiest players in the NFL when Ramondre Stevenson got drop kicked in the head. But I'm sure that's something we could talk about at a later date. Taylor Barrett's here. Taylor, how are you, buddy? He said, do you think the Eagles still have a shot at the playoffs, or is our season done? We'll ask the resident Eagles fan here with us, Taylor, and Mick. Mick, what do you think about the Eagles making the playoffs, buddy?
I still Eagles at heart here. So I think the Eagles are going to make the playoffs.
You do?
I do. I'm not necessarily so high on them winning the division. I think they have a chance at a wild card, but you're always going to say that. I mean, in order to win the wild card this year, you got to have, you got to be 12 and 5, I think it is, right? Or 12 and 4, 12 and 5. You got to be 12 and 5. That's going to, 12 and 5, 11 and 6, that's going to win you a wild card. That's going to get you in there. So, I think the Eagles can get that done. Even though they've struggled a little bit, I think they're going to figure things out.
I personally think that the Eagles' best chance is to be 9-8. And even then, they still got to win 6 tough games. And I know that their schedule does have places where they can win. They still got the Jets, they still got the Giants, they got Washington twice. I think those are winnable games. So the rest of the way, it's a little bit. I think they can win one out of those 2 Giants games. I think the Eagles have a shot to make the playoffs. But I'm not going to guarantee that they get there with the way that the NFC West is playing. Of course, Russ is back. They're 3-5 right now, the Seahawks. So anything can happen over there. The Saints are still 5-3. The Falcons are 4-4. Panthers even 4-5. So I'm not putting anything out of the realm. We did get a question from Bradley Todd 35. Hope you're still with us, man. Do I start Devonta Smith or Jerry Judy? What do you say, Michelangelo, to that?
So I actually own some Devonta Smith stock. I don't have a dog in the fight with Jerry Judy. However, I'm high on Jerry Judy. I think this week. I think this is the week where he establishes himself. He gets back. He's been getting in the groove again in the last 2 weeks since coming back from injury. I was high on Judy the week he came back. I was pumping his tires there. I'm gonna pump his tires a little bit again. I would go with Judy here on this one. Devonta Smith, he's dealing with injuries right now. So, what kind of Devonta Smith are you going to get? And personally, I don't think he's a fighter. I think I just think he's. I don't want to use the term soft, but kind of soft. Like he's not going to go into battles for you. So I like Jerry Judy. Jerry Judy, he's like a pit bull this week. I mean, going forward, he's rested. He's ready to go. He wants to prove a point.
I think so too. I do think that first of all, I have them ranked back to back 24 and 25. I do have Judy just ahead of him. I'll give Devonta Smith a little bit of credit against that Chargers defense. He should not have had 23 points in a PPR finish. He did get his second touchdown on the year, so I think that helped a little bit. But Jerry Judy's just that guy. And listen, I don't like the play from Bridgewater as much as anybody else. He maxed his points yesterday at 13, or last week at 13 against Dallas. But Philly's a much better lineup for him. It's a much better game script. So myself personally, I'd go Judy. I went him last week. I think he's a must start moving forward pretty much at all times. So yeah. Other than that, we got Vic's Doggy Daycare back. Vix, you're gonna need to send us a couple of pictures of the dogs, man, that you're caring for, because I just love dogs. That's gonna need to happen. He said 1 out of 2. My running back core is Cook, Kamara, and Eckler. Do you think it's worth going after Taylor? I have plenty of depth at wide receiver. Is it worth going after Jonathan Taylor? Vix, you got to tell. Is that an 8-team league, man? Because that is. That's crazy.
Dynasty league. That's going to be Dynasty or something.
Eckler, it must be Dynasty or something like that, like a 15-year Dynasty league. That's crazy.
Yeah.
First off, congratulations, because that's fucking unbelievable. Is it worth going after Jonathan Taylor? I think it always will be. I think he's probably the running back. He's a top 3 running back moving forward, in my opinion. If you have Cook, Kamara, and Eckler, I would package Kamara probably and go after Cook. Is that a PPR too? Because that's insane. That's he said he's got DK, Cup, Amari, Mike Williams at wide receiver too. Vix, how many teams is in that league? And is it a dynasty league, PPR? What is it, man? Because it's a PPR. Okay, how many players are in that league? Right. How many teams are in that? That
sounds like a 6-team league. That's crazy.
That's banana-lands that you have that team, Vix. I don't think you have to do a thing unless these other guys have people in their league like that. That's wild. Sadly, it's an 8. I had to drop 2 out last minute. Listen. I'm not shaming.
Yeah, no,
I'm not. Number of team shaming. But if you can get Jonathan Taylor, sure. But I mean, I don't think you need to, man. At this rate, right? Like that's awesome.
Yeah,
you have an awesome team.
Know. I mean, yeah. Put it this way: Jonathan Taylor didn't really start getting I have stock in Jonathan Taylor as well, and he's been well. I mean, but he hasn't had, as an explosive season as Jonathan Taylor owners would like. That the hype was about Jonathan Taylor going into the season,
right?
But at the same time, if he's out there, I think he's going to have a great second half of the season. So I would consider it, but I would also again go evaluate your running backs remaining schedule and then make a decision from there.
Yeah, I mean, if you have those guys, Vix, first off, Eckler is like a top 3 PPR running back. Even Cook and Kamara. I mean, if you're worried about Cook and these latest allegations, then I would maybe consider it. But it's definitely something you don't have to do. All right, so I don't see any questions on the board. We still have 5 people here on Facebook with us. Please like and share that shit. If you're on TikTok, give us a follow. We got a couple of videos that have gone viral, and we're still pushing. We got about 100 followers in the last day or so. RJ Pro 29 said, "Would you do Michael Pittman and Leonard Fournette for Aaron Jones and Antonio Gibson? I have good
Yes.
RBs." Are you trading away Michael Pittman and Leonard Fournette? Because if that's the case, I wouldn't do that.
I mean,
Pittman
yeah.
has been he's been unbelievable,
Stellar.
man. I mean,
Stellar,
I'd
yeah.
say
Why would you want to
I don't think you would do that.
downgrade?
We
Yeah.
talked about it on Tuesday on our stream, me and Smirks, and we were talking about heroes and zeros and who our heroes were for the season. Mine was DeAndre Swift just because of the value got of where you were drafting him. His was Cordero Patterson. Michael Pittman was well in that conversation for me in PPR, even in standard. I mean, he's a top 10 wide receiver. Oh, you'd be getting Michael Pittman and Leonard Fournette if you're confident in
And
your
he's
running backs.
giving up
100% do that.
Jones, and who did he say?
He'd be getting Michael Pittman and Leonard Fournette for Aaron Jones and Antonio Gibson.
So yeah, I definitely do that. So I was right. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
Definitely do that.
RJ Pro is this
Definitely.
PPR too, because even then, Michael Pittman's been an even better wide receiver. Also, who are your wide receivers and running backs? Let us know. Yeah, Vic said Jones been dog water. Well, you would know Vic's doggy daycare. I bet you deal with a
That's
lot of
because
dog water.
AJ Dillon, a former BC back, is taking his spot.
He said he has Patterson, Darrell Henderson, and Swift. So yeah, I think you can let go of Jones for a better wide receiver. And then you're getting Leonard Fournette in PPR. He's even better at this moment. So I'm not mad at that at all. We'll continue with our overline here. We are gonna go. We're gonna do the who would yous. So that's basically who would you rather play this weekend. We got 5 questions on the board. And then we'll talk a little bit. We'll enter the Moose market. That's who I am, Mr. Moose. We'll enter the Moose market, talk a little bit about the spread, the money line, the over-under for tonight, as well as a prop bet. I have a prop bet of the night that's guaranteed to hit. Tyler said, bruh, I'm the dude RJ Pro is trading with. Oh, no! Oh, no. Well, here's the deal. Oh, we had Derrick Henry. Okay, so that in that case, Tyler, Tyler S., 13-19. In that case, listen, if you had Derrick Henry, you probably need Aaron Jones. And I would probably want another going with him with Gibson. I don't think it's a bad trade. I just think if he needs a wide receiver, he's got plenty of running back depth. And you had Derrick Henry. That sucks, right? So I don't have a problem with you making that trade either. At all. I think it works out for the both of you guys, and clearly you're in need, man. We did get a couple of more questions on Facebook. Jordan DeCarlo says, "What's up, boys? Am I crazy to start Freeman over Carson and Harris? Nope. I don't know if either will play. I'll let you go first, Michelangelo."
Definitely not. I actually, I hate to even. You know what? I'll bring a personal thing into this. So I actually was. This week, my hands were tied. I had Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, and Devonta Freeman. I have to play with and James Robinson. I'm sorry, James Robinson. So obviously Mixon's not in, so I had to throw Devonta Freeman in there, and I was basically because we don't know if Chubb's going to play or not. So I threw Freeman in there. I am gung ho on Freeman tonight. Especially with Latavius Murray being out. I mean, I think we'll get to that, but Latavius Murray is out tonight. And basically, when you get a guy that needs to fill in a position, you look at it as you want to base at 10 points, especially for someone like myself who's in a standard league. So I'm looking for 10 points out of Freeman. You're asking for at least a touchdown and 40 yards. It's not asking for much. I think it's definitely doable, and Freeman is their goal line guy. So I'm rolling with Freeman tonight.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And listen, we talked about it earlier in the week. We talked over the phone about Freeman and your situation. I think if you have to play Freeman, you're worried about Damian Harris's concussion. I don't think that's a bad move to make. I think there is worry there, and I don't necessarily think that you should overthink it. Chris Carson, we don't know what he's going to be like coming back, Jordo. So I don't hate that at all. We did get a question by Jay Fawcett. Jay, thanks for joining, man. Glad you could come in. He said, thoughts on Antonio Gibson value the rest of the year. I think that's a tough question, man, because I just don't know necessarily how healthy he is. That shin injury seems to be definitely dampering his value. That's for sure. I don't even know at this point if he's necessarily tradable. And I definitely don't think he'll be a top 10 running back like we plan on him being. It's as unfortunate as it is, his value's depleted. And I would have a backup plan soon. I'd love to see him come back as the guy we thought and knew he'd be. But he would be lucky at this point to be a top 20 back the rest of the season. His schedule is favorable. I'll give
That's
him
what I was
that.
going to mention. I do like his schedule. Now do they have a bye coming up? I'm pretty sure, correct?
They do.
So I would hold on to Gibson. I actually like his value, and I was going to mention, like I said, the strength of schedule for him. I think they play the Giants twice, right? They play the Giants twice. They play the Cowboys once, right? And they play, who is it? The Eagles. I think they play the
Philly
Eagles
twice.
twice. Okay,
In the
yeah. So
playoffs, and Philly's
yeah,
not been good against the run
no,
or the running
no.
back. So
So I actually like Gibson going forward, but again, it depends on his health, of course.
right, the bye week. I'll say this: the bye week is going to help. The bye week is going to help him get healthy. Or it was last week. So I mean, they have Tampa Bay this week. I don't even know how much they'll shelf him out there. Hopefully, he's a little bit healthier, but I'm not too worried about Antonio Gibson going forward. We did get a couple more questions. Wow, on TikTok. Sorry, I'm a little bit far behind. Vic's Doggy Daycare still with us, baby. Love to see it. He said, "I want to go after Renfro." Am I insane? I have to
No,
put this on record so I can say I told you so to somebody. Not at all. If it's PPR, you're not insane at all. In an 8-team league, I don't quite know if he's going to be playing over those other guys you have, Vic. I'm going to call you Vic from now on. I don't think it's crazy to go and stash him. No, I mean, he's been an unbelievable asset to most teams all year long, especially in a full PPR. He's what Cole Beasley was last year. He's fairly consistent. You can get some points out of him, and he's the favorite guy on that team. What say you, Mick?
no, I definitely I like Renfro. And to give you an idea for this week as a streamer, I have Renfro ranked. I'd be playing Renfro over a guy like Cortland Sutton, I'm sorry, or Jarvis Landry, or DJ Moore, or Christian Kirk. I'm playing Renfro over those four guys this week. So if that were me anyway, so I like Renfro. I think he's a good pickup this week,
Okay. Yeah.
especially with, and I hate to even bring it up, especially with them losing a couple of receivers. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I definitely like Renfro.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all. Renfro's the wide receiver 30 over the year, but in PPR, but it's I mean it's been good. Rhino said I love Renfro target share, really nice floor in PPR leagues. Fact. Um, RJ Pro 29 said I have Devonte Adams in our league. Patterson is running back wide receiver, and I have Pitts, by the way. 7-2. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, Wow, Vic said Peoples Jones going off for 30 plus this week. Woo, I don't think so against the Pats, son. You talking to the wrong squad, bro. You talking to the wrong squad. I don't think Donovan Peoples Jones gonna get over 30. I think that's craziness,
Hey,
but
I don't even want
I
to
love it
say
because
it.
I'm a Michigan fan too, so I do love little DPJ.
I was gonna say I don't even want to say it, but I do think that Peoples Jones is gonna have another good fantasy week. Just think of it. Just think of it like so is the Patriots. I mean, you're asking J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson, who's he going to be on? He's probably not going to be on Jarvis Landry, and if he is going to be on anybody, it's probably going to be DPJ because of his what's the word I'm looking for? His explosive play ability. So I actually kind of think that he's going to have the matchup this week, like a favorable matchup. So I like DPJ
Wow.
this week. I
30
do.
plus
I hate
points
to
though?
say it. I don't know about 30 plus points, but I'm thinking at least 14, 15 points in a standard scoring league. At
Okay.
least. At least.
We got this one question on TikTok. I can't fucking. How do I get rid of a damn old swamp possum? It ate up my Dolly Parton T-shirt. I'll tell you what, Aaron. I don't know how legal it is to shoot things where you're from, son, but I'd get a good old bird shot in your 12 gauge, and I let that sucker ring. Yeah, Tyler said, "Can you rate my squad?" Herbert, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, James Robinson, Fournette, Landry Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Pittman, Mark Andrews, Tyler Bass, Saints D, Debo Samuel, A+, brother, A+. 10-man league, that's an A+ draft right there, man.
Hey, is that Hunter, not Hunter Henry, Justin Herbert or Khalil Herbert?
No, Justin. He didn't mention another quarterback, so
okay.
Yeah, Rhino said I'll give it an 8.5 because of Jones' inconsistent points. Yeah, I mean, if you had asked me after week 5, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I mean, you definitely run into a couple of hiccup weeks, but overall, that's a pretty good draft, man. I'm sure you got Debo Samuel in there somewhere deep. Vic said, "I am a New England fan." You are a New England fan. You think DBJ 30+ points? Woo! We are down bad. You were really hoping for Odell. Everybody was hoping for Odell where we're from, man. That's fantastic. Listen, if you guys are still with us on both TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, do us a favor. Go over there, give a follow, give a share, give a like, whatever you got to do, and stick with us. We'll be back Sunday at 11 a.m., but we still got a little bit to go. Yeah, so we're gonna go. Jordo said OBJ over DPJ. Oh, let's go! Could you imagine the day we'd be saying Odell Beckham over Donovan Peoples-Jones? I would have puked 5 years ago. That's fucking insane, but that is where we are. So, listen, we're gonna jump right into the. Redhead Astrid joined. Hello, Redhead Astrid. I feel you. See my beard? It's a little bit red, so I get it. All right, we're gonna go right into the who would yous. And the who would yous is basically we're gonna go with a couple of guys and see who we would play. And we'll start at the running back position. I think these two guys are on the line of flex plays, maybe running back 2 plays. I don't know how you value them, but we're not gonna do things like, would you play Najee Harris or Austin Eckler? Because you're gonna play them both. Hey, thanks for the follow, Tyler S319. Very glad you could drop by. We'll be back Sunday at 11 a.m. too on TikTok and possibly afterwards as well. All right, so first running backs, Mick. We're gonna go with Jeremy McNichols versus New Orleans or Tony Pollard versus Atlanta.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm high on the Dallas running backs this week against Atlanta. So I'm gonna take Tony Pollard here.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's trash. Tony Pollard, albeit hasn't gotten a lot of carries since the bye week, he's only totaled 11 for 37 yards. And he's only gotten 3 targets, but I think that changes a little bit after this tough loss to Denver. I think the Cowboys are going to go back to what they were doing before the bye, and I think that they are going to be running the ball. As far as McNichols goes, listen, I said it last week. I am an Adrian Peterson fan through and through. He did get the touchdown. I don't think Jeremy McNichols will see any goal line work. I think his value comes solely through the targets, and I don't think he gets more than 4 targets a week. So I definitely think Tony Pollard on this one if you're in a deep enough league. We'll go to a couple of wide receivers next. These are 2 guys I think a lot of people are counting on in deeper leagues, leagues that don't have a kicker, maybe have an extra flex, or just deep 12-team leagues with a lot of bench spots. We got Emanuel Sanders versus New York Jets or Devonta Smith versus Denver Broncos. Who you got, Mick?
I'm going Manny Sanders versus the Jets. Why? Because it's the goddamn Jets, as Adam Sandler said in Big Daddy. They stink. They are absolutely terrible. So I'm riding Sanders this week.
All right. You're riding Sanders. Yeah, the Jets are devastatingly bad. And listen, Denver's been great against the wide receiver this season. I have them ranked almost back to back. However, I'm actually going to go Devonta Smith. Listen, I know that he hasn't been consistent this year. He had his best week last year against what was arguably his toughest matchup. As much as I love Sanders, and I don't know how many people are actually going through Devonta Smith or Manny Sanders issues, I do think that Devonta Smith has another good week. If he gets into, let's say this too, he was the wide receiver 2 over last week, which is pathetic, with only 23 points. If he gets another touchdown against Denver, it's game over. Although, as much as I love Manny Sanders in the red zone, he only has 4 touchdowns over the course of the year. So I don't think it's been his favorite target. I think it was just a few games. And Dawson Knox is back this week. Is that correct?
It is. It is.
Okay.
I actually have some Dalton Knox stock. Well, actually, I should wait. He has practiced with the team. It's not a guarantee that he's playing, but the coach expects him to potentially play on Sunday.
All right.
With that said, I don't think Dawson Knox. I think he's going to be a decoy this week. I think they're going to use him, running routes, getting him back into the swing of things. Maybe he'll see a target or two, but I don't think they're going to feed him like they were. I mean, I could be totally dead wrong, and they're going to pick back up where they left off, and that's kind of what I hope as well. As owners, we like to be wrong about certain things. That's one of the things I hope I'm wrong with, but I don't think they're going to target him this week, to be honest.
Okay. So. All right. The one worry I have too, this little tidbit for you, against AFC teams this year, which was 2 games against Miami, Emanuel Sanders has amounted just 10 targets and 2 catches and no touchdowns against AFC rivals. So I think the same will continue for the Jets. I'm not so positive about him, but I do have them ranked similarly. I have Devonta Smith at 32 and Manny Sanders at 34 this week. So I'll go Devonta Smith. Mick goes Manny Sanders. Let's go to the next one. Sounds
like a beer bet, baby.
Yeah. Does it? All right.
Sounds like a beer
bet. Is that the one?
That's the one. We're gonna do it. Who has a better fantasy week? Manny Sanders or Devonta Smith?
All right, love it. I'll take your Eagles guy, and you take Manny. We'll move on to another running back slot. We'll go to another couple of guys, both in the AFC East, but I think it's important we talk about them. Damian Harris is a week in, week out starter, but he does have a concussion. Listen, let's just say he plays for the sake of saying he plays. Damien Harris versus Cleveland or Devin Singletary versus New York Jets.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta say it. I actually was. I'm still torn. I think between Devin Singletary tonight or Devonta Freeman. But in this case right here, Damian Harris is banged up. Personally, you want my opinion? I think Brandon Bolden's gonna get an astronomical amount of time on offense. Going forward, especially this week. We've seen little, spurts of it. So, again, I'm going to go with Singletary this week. Why? Because it's the Jets. They're terrible. It's like watching a Pee-wee football game.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Listen, I personally, first and foremost, I'm starting Damian Harris every single week. There's not even a question. To our comment from Vic on TikTok, Zach Moss is also in concussion protocol. He was present at today's practice, but wearing a non-contact jersey. So we're not quite sure how much work he's going to get on Sunday. Again, if we say both of these guys are 100% healthy, 100% going, Damian Harris in this team, they just run the ball. That's what they do. He's guaranteed 14 to 15 carries a week and a target. And he gets a touchdown almost every single week. I mean, right now, he's got 7 touchdowns on the year, Damian Harris. That's significant. So even though he doesn't finish top 25 every week or top 30 every week, I still think that he's a go. We did get a question from Kyle Hutchinson. He said, yo, Freeman or LaVisca this week? Devonta Freeman, I'm assuming, right? That's got to be Devonta Freeman or LaVisca. Mick, I'll let you
Freeman.
answer this question first, and then I'll go back to it.
I'm gonna go Freeman here, just because of the carries, the amount of carries I think he's gonna get compared to Laviska. And again, I'm just it's the Dolphins. I mean, they're no slouch of a team, but again, they're soft in the middle. They don't have guys like Cameron Wake that they've had in previous years and stuff like that. So again, that's where I'm at as far as that's considered.
I don't disagree. I am terrified to start Laviska rest of season with this outside look that he has. He is not DJ Chark, and they're trying to treat him as such. He's good for like 5 targets a game, it feels like at this point. And that's just not going to do it. Devonta Freeman, on the other hand, got 13 carries last week and 3 targets for 2 receptions. In PPR, he finished the running back 10 with 16 points. I think he's still going to get that work against Miami, especially. I mean, they're just not good. Miami is one of the worst I've been talking about it all year. Third downs, they're maybe the worst team in the league. If they are statistically still, I know 2 weeks ago I was still talking about it. Last year they were second. They were the second third down defense in the league, and they go to 32. I'm surprised Brian Flores even still has a job, to be completely honest with you, because he shouldn't. The fact that a defense that pretty much stuck together is just that bad it's astronomically dumb. So yeah, I'm going with Devonta Freeman. All right, we'll go to a couple tight ends here, and then we have one more wide receiver question. We are coming up about the 15 to 20 minute mark until we're done. If you guys have any start questions for us tonight, please let us know. We'll try to get them done as quickly as possible. Otherwise, any other sit questions you guys have, give us a follow. First and foremost, give us a like, give us a share. We'll be on Facebook, YouTube Live, and TikTok on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. answering all and every sit question you have. And I know what you're thinking. We're just out here giving advice. We're not. We're living it too. The things you guys are asking, we're also internalizing these questions all week, and we talk about it all week. So when you guys ask these questions, just know we're living these questions as well. We're trying to answer these same questions for ourselves and our teams. He said they need to treat Viska like Debo Samuel. Don't disagree. Kyle said if Harris and Stevenson are out, would Bolden be a better start than Ayuk? I'll let you answer that one, Mick, first.
That is a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, you're banking on Jimmy G just being an absolute hero. So I mean, and even then, Ayuk is on the up and up right now. So I'm gonna play Brandon Ayuk this week over Rashad Bateman.
No, over Brandon Bolden.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, no. I'll you know what? Because I'm just you know what? I'll take Bolden here. Like I said, I think with Harris out, he's gonna get a reduced role this week. So I'm going Bolden here.
Oh, are you? I'm going Ayuk, for sure. Whether or not Damian Harris is in. Zach Loomis won. I'm so sorry, man. I did not see your question. Sometimes the chat just keeps going. He said Hopkins or Mike Evans this week. Who you got, Mick?
Ooh, I like Mike Evans this week. Okay. I have Mike Evans stock, so I like Mike Evans this week over D Hop.
Yeah, as do I. Mike Evans could probably be a top 5 wide receiver against Washington. I don't see the same thing for D Hop at this point. It's not looked good. I don't think he's 100% healthy, and I don't think he has the upside or the touchdown value that Mike Evans has. So I'd go Mike Evans. He also asked.
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray's a big bust this week too. Kyler Murray is dealing with something. He's there's no way There's no way that, I mean, this is not the Kyler Murray that we've seen come into the league. There's something going on there. Whether he's not on the same page as his receivers or he's battling an injury, he just doesn't look right to me.
All right. And then we got another question from Zach. He said Jordan Howard or Kenyon Drake. I'll let the resident Eagles fan again answer first.
And I'm a football fan. I am an Eagles fan, but I'm a football fan. And quite frankly, I'm high on Kenyon Drake this week. I think Kenyon Drake's going to have a pretty high scoring fantasy week this week. The Raiders love Drake. They have a 1-2 punch with Josh Jacobs and Drake there. I think I'm riding Drake this week. I like it.
All right, yeah. So you got Kenyon Drake once. I'll say Jordan Howard, and it's not because I don't like Kenyon Drake. It's because I love that Jordan Howard's gotten 12 and 17 carries in the last 2 weeks. My only concern is him going against Denver, and I don't think it's crazy for me to question that when Drake got 8 targets last week against the Giants. I think this offense is going to have to change a little bit. But again, Jordan Howard getting that volume, I don't think I could pass that up. So I'll go with Jordan Howard this week. We got another question from Kyle. I knew we would get this question again. Does OBJ hurt Kupp? I'll go first. No. I don't think he hurts Kupp. I think he hurts Tyler Higbee's targets, maybe Van Jefferson, obviously, but I'm not worried about Cooper Kupp at all. Yeah, Vic said he answered it. You wouldn't know. LOL. I was the only viewer at the time. Yes, you were, Vic. Yes, you were, and you're still here. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Vic said Ertz or Arnold. Go ahead, Mick. What do you think, Ertz or Arnold this week?
So last week I was showing, 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, I was showing a hell of a lot of love for Zach Ertz, fellow Eagle. I understand that. Us as fans, as homers, we tend to want to go that way, but I'm going the opposite direction here. I got Arnold this week. Arnold has come a long way. He's slowly inserting himself in their offense, and I don't have the target list in front of me, but I know he had more than 5, I believe, last week. And
yeah, he had 7 targets last week, 10 the week before.
Yeah, so I like that going forward. And then I know that he was one of the top options in the red zone as well. I thought last I saw going into last week anyway, Arnold was, I believe, top his team in targets in the red zone. So I like Arnold this week. Favorable matchup.
So Mick went with Arnold. I would say the same. I picked up Arnold in 2 leagues. In one of them, I'm playing him because the other I'm playing Freiermuth, but I actually have Dan Arnold and Zach Ertz. I have them ranked back to back at 12 and 13. I have Arnold just squeaking by, and against Indianapolis, I think he'll have a fantastic game. That target share compared to the rest of the wide receivers is just unbelievable. So I think Dan Arnold's the play. Loomis said thoughts on OBJ. I just grabbed him off waivers. Don't know how to play him, but I really appreciate it all, man. Yeah, Zach, sorry I didn't get to your questions earlier either. I think OBJ is a fantastic ad for anybody. He got dropped today by somebody in one of my leagues, but it's a bullshit waiver claim rotating schedule. So I don't think I'm going to get a piece of him. I wouldn't go ahead and play him this week. I would probably skip that. I'd skip that. I'd let him get accustomed first, but just see what you have. See what you have in him, but I don't think he's a bad ad by any means moving forward, right? I mean, how can you go wrong? He's on the Rams now. That offense is prolific.
Yeah, it's literally the greatest show on turf 3. Some people like to say that the 2003 Rams or whatever were the greatest show on turf with Kurt Warner, 2001? Holt, and Isaac. Yeah, 2001. Yeah, that's what it was with Isaac Bruce. That's actually that's when the Patriots rolled into town and young Brady and took it to him. So I actually like it a lot. So.
All right. So one more question Wide receiver question for who would you? And this time it's between Brandon Ayuk. We already talked a little bit about him. Would you go Brandon Ayuk this week versus the Rams or Rashad Bateman versus Miami tonight?
I am going Brandon Ayuk against the Rams. Reason I'm doing that is because you have to key in on George Kittle. You have to, whether you run a man zone, you have to key in on Kittle. You have to. You can't just put a guy on him and let him roam. So that's going to open up guys on the outside, such as Ayuk. You're also going to open up, who's the other one, man? I'm drawing a blank here.
Debo.
The slot. Yes. Yeah. You got to also worry about Debo. So I do. I like Brandon Ayuk this week. I do over Bateman tonight against Miami.
All right. I'm going to go Rashad Bateman. I think he provides a solid floor. Brandon Ayuk, though, I mean, how can you go wrong starting him? I don't like this, but I mean, I have Bateman right ahead of Ayuk, 35 and 36. And I think Bateman is going to have the best game of his career thus far tonight. I would even go on edge saying he gets 10 targets, 8 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. I think he scores his first touchdown, and I think he finishes a top 20 wide receiver this week, easy. So we got another beer bet. we see each other almost every week at hockey, so these beer bets are flying for us too. But I'll go Bateman, and Mick will go Ayuk against the Rams. I just don't like anybody against the Rams defense, to be honest with you. Vic said not fantasy related right now, but who is your Super Bowl matchup? I'll let you go first, Mick.
I've got the Rams, or as they like to say, the Rams, and I've got. So actually, I'll break it down for you like this. I'll give you 4 teams, the matchups, and the championships.
Okay.
I've got the Rams versus the Bucks in the NFC, and I have Kansas City and Baltimore.
Love that.
This year in the AFC.
So who do you have in the Super Bowl?
Oh, so anyway, so yeah, I got the Rams and the Ravens. Yeah, my bad. I gave you 4 there. Yeah, my fault. But yeah, that's those are my championships, NFC, AFC, and I got the Rams and the Ravens in the Super Bowl this year.
So I had Vic. I told everyone on our Discord. There is a link somewhere in the chat for our Discord if you'd like to join. That's where most of our listeners are. And we talk about bullshit all week. I told everyone last week I had the Bills and the Rams, and I'm fairly certain there is now a moose curse on whoever I guess is in the Super Bowl. My original pick for the NFC was Washington because I thought that defense was actually going to be good like they were last year. And then literally that week, Ryan Fitzpatrick went down. So I chose the Bills and Rams last week. I'm going to stick by that. But there must be a curse because they both lost to shite teams last week. So moving forward, I'm not quite sure, but I'm still going to go with the Rams and the Bills. Zach Loomis said, who are your top 3 fantasy wide receivers and running backs? Are you saying rest of season, Zach? I'm assuming so. Mick, do you have a top 3 wide receiver and running backs? Do you have that in front of you?
Going forward, I actually... So I have Cooper Kupp, Marquise Brown.
Wow.
And Tyler Lockett.
Wow. Are going to finish top 3 from like week 10 to week 17 or 16?
Yep. That's what I got.
Wow. Okay.
Way off the radar.
Wow. Wait, so who are they again?
I've got Tyler Lockett, Marquise Brown, and Cooper Kupp.
All right, Cooper Kupp, Marquise Brown, and Tyler Lockett, top 3 moving forward. My top 3 would be Cooper Kupp. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb, finishing top 3. I'm also going to say freaking Devontae Adams. I still think he's a top 3 wide receiver moving forward. I'm not too worried about. What about running backs? That's awesome.
Running
I love that you
backs.
have fucking Tyler Lockett in there. That's incredible.
And you know what's funny? I said Tyler right off the dome. I said, them 3 guys. I have Cooper Kupp. I have CeeDee Lamb on fantasy teams. So I see all their production. I just the second half of the season, you usually get the guys that haven't woke up yet from the start of the season. They usually wake
Sure.
up in the second half. Now running backs. That's a tough question here because now we're dealing with the injuries with the injury with Derrick Henry. That's a big one. He was definitely going to get the MVP. He was either going to get MVP or Offensive Player of the Year, whatever. He was in the running. He was on pace to break a record that hasn't been broken since it was like in the 30s, 1930 something or other. I forget who it was, but it was
the 1930s. We're over here talking
it was
about.
in the 30s. Yeah, it was that was like when football ran the wishbone and stuff like that. So, but no, I that's where I'm at. I just think that going forward, we're gonna have the teams guys starting to come, starting to perform. More consistently now on a weekly basis. For example, I said earlier in the show, Jonathan Taylor, starting to come alive a little bit, starting to really get his feet under him. You're getting, later on down the line, guys, that we talked about earlier, such as Fryemoth. We're even at the point now where, granted, Travis Kelce is still a top tight end, but before that, it was Travis Kelce, Dawson Knox, and I believe Noah Fant. About 2 weeks ago, it was up and with the consistent tight ends. Like now it's a crapshoot now. Even like I said, I think I said earlier in the year to my dad, I'm like, I think this is the last year that you can take Travis Kelce in the first round of a draft. So the direction that the league we're going in is interesting. If you ask me, I think it's going to turn into a running back heavy league, such as what we have going on here. Like I said, I thought Derrick Henry was going to be a top back going forward, but that's a tough question. I think I'm going to take Javonte Williams.
Love that. Strength of schedule is unbelievable.
Yep. So I got Javonte Williams, Josh Jacobs, and Nick Chubb having the better second half.
Did you say Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, Josh Jacobs. Yep.
Wow. Okay, because they have probably one of the toughest schedules moving forward.
And I think teams are going to force Derek Carr to throw the ball. I think opposite. I'm sorry. I think the teams are going to want to force the Raiders to run the ball because they don't trust Josh Jacobs.
Love that.
They'd rather, if they're gambling against the Raiders, they're going to make Derek Carr throw the ball. And he's thrown the ball pretty well so far in the first half of the season. And
I love that.
My take usually is you usually go opposite direction the second half of the season. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's awesome. If Javonte Williams from week 10 to week 16 finishes top 3, I'll buy you a 6-pack of your favorite beer. We'll say that. It won't even be a beer bet. Like, if that fucking happens, I'll give you all of the beer. With that being said,
in Whalers.
Yeah, all right. I'll get you some Whalers. We can do that. My top 3 moving forward are Jonathan Taylor, David Montgomery, and Najee Harris. I think they have absolutely fantastic schedules. I think they'll need to be used to get to where their teams want to be. I think David Montgomery is a fantastic running back. If you were able to get him before he was hurt, fantastic move. But yeah, Vic said all leagues should go to 2 PPR for tight ends. Vic, I'm not behind. I'm not in front or behind you on this. I don't agree nor disagree. I'm very indifferent about tight ends. What I'll say is that I think the tight end should be eradicated to a tight end running back spot. I think that would be fantastic. I'd love to see that, but yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. I don't really enjoy I would never take a tight end in the first 3 rounds. That's what I'll say. I'll never do it. I will never. You might as well go 0 RB if you do that. So if you're still here with us on TikTok, please hit that follow button. Give us a like. We'll be here on Sunday at 11 a.m. We're also on Facebook and YouTube Live every Tuesday at 8 Eastern time. Eastern. If you can't tell by the Patriots hat, the Patriots flag, or Eastern time, we'll be here Tuesdays at 8. Pregame show every Thursday at 7. And an 11 a.m. Show as well. All right, let's get into the moose market, baby. We're going to talk a little bit of betting now. Now, I know you, Michelangelo. You're a betting man. Responsibly. Always remember, gamble responsibly. Okay, if you need help, you should call somebody. All right? We take this seriously.
Don't call us.
Don't call us. definitely don't call us. But if you need somebody, we're in Rhode Island. And you can call the gambling help hotline. It's open 24 hours a day. It's confidential. It's 1-877-9-GAMBLE if you need gambling help. So gamble responsibly. But we'll go through a little bit of what the spread's like tonight, as well as the money line over under, and I'll give you a prop bet of the night that I just love. On the RI Sportsbook, we got the point spread at 8.5 favorites to the Ravens. Money line is -420 for the Ravens. I'm sorry, on the overlay on Facebook, I didn't fix that because I'm an asshole. It says Cardinals. It's 420 Ravens. Nice 420. And then the Dolphins are +320 favorites. Over-unders 46. So we'll start with the spread first. -8.5 Ravens. Mick, who you got? That's a big spread, man. I know. I know the Ravens are freaking good and the Miami Dolphins are trash, but that's a big spread.
So that's what I'm going to get in. So at 8.5, you're basically at 8.5. You're saying the Ravens are going to beat the Dolphins by 9 points. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a touchdown game. It's going to be a 7-point game, maybe an 8-point game. 2-point conversion could win this. Now, with that said, I don't think the Dolphins are going to win the game, but I definitely think the Dolphins are going to cover. I do.
You're a crazy person. Do you know that?
Oh, I know.
This is why I love you.
This is
why I love you. This is why we're friends, because I think you're a fucking absolute maniac to think this. I think the Ravens are going to win huge. The Baltimore Ravens have outscored the Dolphins by a combined 137-16 in the last 3 games they've played.
Not tonight. That's
tonight you were born to be hockey players. Yeah. I listen. I think the Ravens have way more depth. I think they have way more talent. I'll take the spread. The Ravens. Money line pick. Do you have the Ravens, or at this point are you like leaning Dolphins? Because I think you should just go all out if you're leaning.
Might as well just lean on the Dolphins. That's it. Do it. Yeah, but do it live. Do
it live. I love it. No, but really, do you think the Dolphins or the Ravens money line? I mean, I wouldn't bet the money line straight up. I'd probably have a parlay going into the weekend. But.
Yeah, definitely not. But if I'm doing a money line, I would definitely take the Ravens there. On the money line.
Yeah, I would take the Ravens in a spread, or in a parlay this week.
Definitely would do that. Actually, I do want to touch on. I think I actually have an upset of the week. Yes, I do. And I actually got laughed at.
Wait, by spread, money line, straight up. What are you saying?
Straight up.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna ride the Detroit Lions this week, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh my fucking Lord! You're not.
I don't. Yeah. Yep. I think I'm gonna. After last week's Buffalo Jacksonville fiasco, I just think it. You know what? Why not? I mean, there's no possible way the Lions can stink that bad. I mean, or can they? I don't know.
No, they can. They do. Weekly.
You might be right, but
I
But
mean,
came across.
Mick, they are so bad, man.
I mean, if the only thing the Lions do, like, if the only thing the Lions can do is win, coin tosses and stuff like that, then that's it. They got something going for them. So maybe they'll win the coin toss and they'll win the game, or maybe they'll lose the coin toss and they'll win the game. Maybe, I don't know. They're a weird team,
All right.
the Lions.
Here's a beer bet upset of the week. You and I will start doing. All right. So you got the Lions over the Steelers. I got the Jaguars. The Jaguars over the Colts this week. And listen, if neither of them win, we'll just say it's a push. But if one of those teams win, well, I'll give you a beer. Yeah, that's fantastic. I love that. All right, so we do have one more, the over under. And I'll let you go first. The over under is 46 for this one.
I actually 46, huh?
46.
40. So it's got to be it's 46 flat out, huh?
46 flat. On the Rhode Island Sportsbook. It could be different now with
I was going to say it's a possibility
Vegas,
that changed, but regardless, you're asking
listen, so here's the thing, right? If the spread is talking 8.5 points, then they probably don't think it's going to be a big scoring game. That's what the spread is telling you. No, but if you're saying it's going to be a close game, what do you say? Like, do you think they're going to score? I mean, less than 20 points each?
I think it's going to be like a 21-17 game. 21.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a nail biter. And again, it's going to come down to possession. Which ties into other Ravens going to run the ball down the Dolphins' throat, or are they going to air it out a little bit? So,
okay.
I do, and that's where I'm at. I do.
All right. I'm taking the over, smashing the over. If you guys know one thing about me, it's that I fucking love overs. I am a huge proponent of taking an over in an NFL game. I have the final score as 36-16 Ravens, so I think that I think they smashed the over. I think the Ravens hit the spread in the money line. If I could bet all three in a parlay, I would, but you can't. All right, and then prop bet of the night. My prop bet. I don't know if you have one, if you do underdogs or anything like that, or if you do anything on our Rhode Island Sportsbook, or if you can find one within the time in which I'm speaking. My prop bet of the night is Lamar Jackson over 311 and over 311 and a half total yards. I think that's well within the possibility. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think it'll open the field up for him, and I think by the third quarter, maybe 5 minutes into the fourth quarter, he will have hit that mark. I don't think it's going to take very long. I think this Miami Dolphins defense is trash.
So my prop bet of the night, I actually love this prop bet. I do it on the Super Bowl every year. It's the most degenerate prop bet you can possibly imagine.
Time out. If you tell me the prop bet of the night for you is the national anthem, I'm going to smack you.
No.
We don't believe in violence here on TikTok. I know you guys are going to shut me down. You guys are going to cancel me. Shut up. I'll smack this kid. Friendly.
Yeah.
I'll friendly. So no,
what is it? My prop bet of the night is the opening kickoff.
I fucking knew it. That's what I was gonna guess next. You piece of trash.
Opening kickoff will indeed be a touchback. I actually nailed the opening kickoff last year in the Super Bowl. It wasn't a touchback. It was ran back.
Switch the camera. That's unfortunate. I wanted to switch the camera. I want the people to see what you're fucking wearing right now because you got a mustache. Are you doing mustache November? What is it?
Oh yeah. Movember.
That's what it is.
Funny story is I actually got I got cleaned up a little bit yesterday. Shout out Jackie. And when I got home, my lady was like, "Oh, you look very nice, cleaned up." And I turn around and she's like, "No, absolutely not." So actually, I
no way.
I'm gonna see how long I can go with the mustache. I mean, I think I look absolutely incredible with a mustache, and but yeah, I'm gonna see how long this mustache takes me. I mean, if I get lucky with a mustache, I mean, I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it until the luck runs out. So yeah, Movember, boys, Movember.
No shave November. Yeah, Vix, I'm sorry. If I shave this, I look like a beluga whale with a mustache, so it's just not going to happen for me. Maybe someday I'll just do the handlebars, but right now, listen, I just started growing a full beard like 2 or 3 years ago. I think I look fucking dashing if I do say so myself. So I'm going to keep it for now. Samuel said, "Sup, boys?" Sub Samuel, we're just about to end the show, but I'm sure Michelangelo has more to say because he always does. So,
I
I'm
mean,
just
I
looking at.
I could. I definitely could.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anything you have to say about Week 10? Any other players you're worried about? Anybody you're hyped up on? Go ahead and speak your frenzy, man.
I've got top 5 QBs of the week. I think Carson Wentz is going to have himself an incredible week. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to, when he comes back, he'll have a decent, going forward, he'll be the highest scoring QB, I think, in fantasy. Russell Wilson coming back this week. I like Russell Wilson. I think I'm playing Russell Wilson over Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, and Kyler Murray. My top 5 running backs, I think, of the week that I think are going to have great fantasy weeks. Pending Nick Chubb's availability, Dearness Johnson, Devin Singletary, Melvin Gordon, Devonta Freeman, Kenyon Drake, J.D. McKissick, I think are going to have all great weeks over guys like Michael Davis, Adrian Peterson, Jordan Howard, and Jamal Williams. My top tight ends of the week, in my opinion, I've got Pat Freiermuth, Noah Fant, Dan Arnold, Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas is back this week.
Oh,
and
love that.
Conklin.
We talked a little bit about him on Tuesday.
I am playing all 5 of those guys over guys like Hunter Henry, Tyler Higbee, David Njoku, and Jared Cook. My wide receivers, I couldn't narrow it down to 5, so I will give you guys 7. I've got Tyler Lockett, Jalen Waddle, Hunter Renfrow, Jerry Judy, Cole Beasley,
Top
and
5?
Russell Gage. Yeah, yep.
You don't think
streamers?
Olamide Zacchaeus? You don't think he has a better day than Russell Gage?
No, I don't think so. I think Russell Gage is to stay.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, he's got to show up before he stays.
Bold takes this week. I'm playing those guys. Tyler Lockett, Jalen Waddle, Hunter Renfrow, Jerry Judy, Cole Beasley, over guys such as Cortland Sutton, Jarvis Landry, Elijah Moore, and Kristen Kirk.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're going through top 5s on the week. My number 1 is Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen, Tom Brady. I think Dak has a week, and then I actually think Derek Carr sneaks into there. I actually like the prospect of Deshaun Jackson on that team. I think he fits that team perfectly in what he who should not be mentioned was doing on that team.
Yes.
Mick said Uzoma, or however it's pronounced, going to have a huge week. Yeah, he could, man. He's on and off, but we do love a little bit of CJ here. My top 5 running backs on the week: Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook. I know that's sketchy because we don't really know what he's dealing with right now, but he's going to play. I have Najee Harris. Aaron Jones gets in the top 5, and Zeke Elliott against Atlanta. As far as my wide receiver goes, the first thing I'll say, the one thing I always want to mention about wide receivers, that they are completely and always inconsistent. This is why we stress drafting the running back so hard. Now, I did get lucky in one draft, and I hit on a few wide receivers. I did end up trading Marvin Jones Jr. and Javonte Williams. I traded him early in the season. I didn't have a tight end, so I traded for Damian Harris and Jared Cook. It worked out for me for a while. I also have Zach Ertz now from the waivers. But my top 5 wide receivers on the week are going to be DK Metcalf. This is not in order, but DK Metcalf, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, and Stephon Diggs. Those are my top 5 on the week. And then tight ends, again, another absolute crapshoot. Dan Arnold's going to land in the top 5. Darren Waller. I'm sure Kelsey will sneak in there somehow. Kyle Pitts and Dalton Schultz. Those are my top 5 for those as well. I kind of like the top 5. Just running through it. Don't need to explain it too much. Just run through it. Love that. Vic said Aaron Jones going back to Bus Anonymous. No, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do that, Vic. Vix, I just want to say thank you for enjoying the entire show, man, with us on TikTok. If you'd like, throw us a DM on here or on Facebook. I know you mentioned you'd want to get more leagues next year, and we do have a legacy league in which Michelangelo, who is helping host the show right now, is a part of. He's a longtime listener, and who knows, his role going forward with Fantasy Dads could get bigger. But he's definitely a great fill-in for us. And he's part of the legacy league as well. We do have some newcomers this year. We have one new listener. His name is Uncle Alex. He's a 15-year-old from Western Mass, and he's absolutely fucking killing it right now. He's learning the ropes. We're trying to teach him the ropes, but it seems like he had the ropes and the reins all along. So do send us a DM, man. We'd be glad to get in contact with you. We're very personal people here, and we definitely care about what our fans think and what they're doing. Listen, if we ever tell you to, I'll say it first and foremost, Mick. Listen, I've said the wrong things to you before. I've said the wrong things to other people. We're heavily invested in the research we do and the weekly preparation we do. So usually it has to do with our teams too. So when we say something wrong, we get it. Vic said grew up in New Hampshire. That's awesome, Vic. We're all in New England. We're all Pat fans. We're all from Rhode Island, so not too far away. Where are you now, Vic? Are you still in New Hampshire? Or are you like out in the Midwest somewhere having a doggy daycare type of life? Because first off, I'm gonna need some pictures of those fucking dogs, man. I love them dogs. But he's in Myrtle Beach. Wow, that's sick. All right,
love it.
That's sick. All right, we're gonna have to come down and play some golf with you someday, Vic. But we are coming up on the end of our show. Thursday night football is about to kick off. Listen, last thing, real quick. We got 30 seconds. If you have somebody playing tonight in your flex, take them out and put them in their positionals. Whether it's a running back or a wide receiver. If you have somebody on the Baltimore Ravens or the Miami Dolphins playing tonight, make sure you take them out, put them in their positional spots. You'll need that flex spot. Hear me out. For flexibility. You never know what's going to happen between here and Sunday. Somebody could come down with COVID or a late window injury. You just never know what's going to happen. Tomorrow is a very big practice day for a lot of people. Vic said one more question. Arizona DST this week. Yeah, you know what, funny dude? I think this might be, first off, Vic, the first defensive question I definitely forgotten, but I want to say first and foremost that Arizona might finish the number 1 versus Carolina this week against PJ Walker. We could also see a revamped offense with PJ Walker. We just don't know. But if you're asking us if you should play them, then you definitely should, because again, we don't know. It could be the best matchup you have yet. I played New England last week against Carolina, and guess what? In 2 leagues, they were my highest scoring player. So yeah, I would play Arizona. I'd smash them this week. Unfortunately, Sam Darnold is out. But yeah, I definitely think Arizona is going to be. They were your stream option. Yeah, you should play them. Mick,
yeah, absolutely.
You agree?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Last week, I like to stream defenses as it's just a personal preference occasionally. Yep. Sometimes you get stuck. So I actually picked up the Dolphins last week, and they were the 3rd highest scoring player on my team behind Chubb and Mixon. So in a standard league, the Dolphins put up 18 points. So I live by streaming of the defenses because it can be, you feel good about yourself if you go out, look for a stream of defense, they put up 5 points, and then you have a defense on your bench or whatever. If you carry 2 defenses on your bench in the league, and they got 4 points. So I mean, granted, it's not a big difference, but you were still right in your guess about who you thought was going to put up more points for your team.
Agreed. Yeah. He said he dropped New England. Yeah. Again, stream. You can stream defensive matchups all you want. At the end of the day, you really don't know what they're going to do. The number 1 on the year is Buffalo, and they've had they've had a couple of weeks where they've gotten 1 or 2 or 7 points. That's kind of just what the reality is with defenses. And Arizona is no different. I think the only 2 teams that I haven't streamed away from all year are Buffalo and Indianapolis. I think I've stayed pretty strong on both of those teams. Although in a couple of weeks when the Colts play Tampa Bay, I may have to sway away from them, but I probably won't drop them. All right, cool. Listen, that's going to just about do it. We got Thursday Night Football coming up. I'm sure it's already kicked off. Last week, we went about half an hour into it, but this week it's a lot smoother. Mick, Michelangelo Federici's here with me tonight. Thank you very much, man, for coming through. Appreciate it again, as always. We'll talk about your role moving forward. We may need you for some time to come. If you guys are still with us on TikTok, thank you very much again, Vix. You were here all night. So we very much appreciate it, man. We have we're on all platforms. I'd say the biggest ones are Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. We do have a Discord as well. If you don't know what Discord is, do let us know. We'll explain it to you. But it's really just a community chat where you can talk about the week, talk about trades, talk about waivers, talk about start sits, Super Bowl predictions, bets. We'll talk about it all on there, man. There's tons of different groups. It's really been fun over the last week and a half. We just started it, so feel free to drop us a message or follow us on a different platform, and we'll explain it to you. In regards to anything else, give us a follow, give us a like. For those on Facebook, thanks for showing up. Jordan DiCarlo said, good show tonight, boys. Jordo, always appreciate you coming by. Same thing with you, Sam, and everybody else that was here tonight. Looks like we had a couple of new viewers, a couple of the same. I know Uncle Alex said he had to go finish homework. See ya. Because Uncle Alex.
Keep the change.
Yeah, keep the change. As always, keep the fucking change, you filthy animals. We love it. And we'll see you guys on Sunday at 11 a.m. We're going to go enjoy some football. We hope you guys do the same. Any start-sit questions you have, we'll answer on Sunday. Make sure you come to the stream. And otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your week, a.k.a. Friday tomorrow. I'm off, so you boys still going to be drinking Bud Lights tonight. So we hope you guys have a good week. Mick, thank you again very much, man, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, hey, Moose, thanks for having me. Fantasy Dads, thanks for having me. It's always a good time. It's always fun to shoot the shit about and talk about football and just enjoy it. It's always good to have an unbiased opinion as far as when it comes to fantasy football, because nobody is right, everybody is wrong, and
it's dead true, though.
You are your biggest advocate. You have to go with your gut. The one thing for doing it for as long as I have, you have to go with your gut. If you think something is just doesn't seem right, and you want to go with something else, do it. Go with your gut. That's the best thing I could possibly say. All right, we'll catch you guys on Sunday.
All right, keep the change. See you later. Great show, man. Fantastic show. We're going to have to give this guy Vix a fucking follow, bro.
Vic.
Look at this fucking. Can you see that? No, you can't see it, can you? Fuck.
Hold on. Where are we?
That was a great show, man. See how much more organized it was already?
Yeah, definitely.
Just like we still answered all the questions, but we were fucking flying through them.
Dude, I kept having quick brain farts. I got to take better notes, I think.
Yeah, believe me, I have like 15 tabs open.
Yeah, I have a paper. I've got 3 windows open on my iPad, and I've got my phone going.
If you want me to, if you want me to send some, I can send some. Do you have Fantasy Pros at all?
I usually use the Fantasy Insider.
Okay, so Fantasy Pros from my point of view is the best thing you can use. Oh my god, are we still on Facebook? Rhino, figure it out. We're still on Facebook, Rhino.
Might as well keep going, right? Keep the show rolling, boys.
I guess so. I guess we'll just roll through what we're watching right now. Freeman just busted out for a first down run. That's good.
We could have like our Peyton and Eli, our own Peyton and Eli with Thursday Night Football.
Yeah,
call it how we see it.
We're 100% still on. I hope nobody's with us, but Devonta Freeman's already busting it out, dude. He's already. You played him, right?
Yeah, I have him in. Yeah, I didn't take him out
because we were talking about him. Yeah, he's already busting out. What does he have? How many yards does he already have?
I think he's already got 20. Hang on, I'll give you an exact on that.
I mean, he's already busting out. It's insane.
Yeah, he's already got 20-something yards.
All right, well, I'm at least going to get off my video. So you guys can just enjoy.
Yeah, he's got